topics at ease. So today in this video we will be talking about the previous year questions of West Bengal set, and today's topic of discussion is model and theory. So the first question goes like, identify the correct sequence of the models as per the year of publication. So we know it's from a chronological question, and according to Lasswell, Shannon and Weaver, and Osgood and Wesley Macmillan's model, so what we have to learn? We have to learn the dates. So if we know the dates, if we know the chronological order, then it will be a cakewalk for us to answer this particular question. So if we trace back, we know that Lasswell's model was given in the year 1948. Shannon and Weaver's model was given in the year 1949. Whereas Osgood's model, if we can remember, it's in 1954, and Wesley Macmillan's model in 1957. So the right chronology goes like Lasswell's model, Shannon and Weaver's model, Osgood's model, Wesley and Macmillan's model. And finally, the next part, what we will be understanding now, is the question from 23, that is magic bullet theory, uses and gratification theory, cultivation approach theory, and the Frankfurt School. If you can remember our revision lecture, then we have discussed about the magic bullet theory. The one which we know, which is known as magic bullet theory, is similar with the hypodermic needle theory. What happens in magic bullet theory? It's actually the media, it's the direct effect of the media, how the media is creating an impact on the mass audience, right? So it's injecting the mass audience, what is being consumed by the mass audience. So the magic bullet theory, the next theory what we have, the uses and gratification theory. That means how the audiences are using a particular theory to gratify their own needs, how the media is affecting, how the media is impacting on the larger mass. Then we have cultivation approach. So cultivation approach is George Gardner's cultivation approach theory. Then finally we have Frankfurt School. Frankfurt School, we have the scholars, we have Karl Marx, we have Lenin and another scholar, the first generation scholar, the second generation scholars. So Frankfurt School, what is the meaning of Frankfurt School? Is a school of thoughts, it's the ideology, it's the study of culture. In the cultural study lecture, we have discussed about Frankfurt School, the generations of Frankfurt School, their agendas and all. So here in the match the following column, what we will be understanding, we have to match it. So if we know any one of the answers, then it will be easier for our to identify the correct answer by elimination method. So as you can see, the first option is stating that light viewers, medium viewers and heavy viewers. The moment we are talking about light viewers, we can trace back to the cultivation approach, right? That we have discussed, the George Gardner's cultivation. They have divided the audience into a active audience, into a heavy viewers and light viewers. So light viewers, medium viewers and heavy viewers goes with C. So we can match C with 1. In the option you can see the B option is providing C with 1. Second point, it's stating that society is controlled by mass media and pop culture. Pop culture means nothing but the popular culture. So as I have said before, we have already matched C with 1. Then the particular rest questions is aligned by itself. It's pretty much self-explanatory, isn't it? So number 1 is stating that magic bullet theory, and the right option is 3. So following with the B, 4, C1 and D2. Moving to the next question, Johari window. If you can remember, we have talked about OBHU, open, blind, O for open, B for blind, H for hidden and U for unknown. It was came back in 1955. If you can remember, we have discussed this particular topic in our revision lecture where we discussed about the theories. So let me show you that particular section once again. If you can see it, just a minute. Yeah, here it is. So the moment we are talking about OBHU means open, and then we have O for open, B for blind, H for hidden and U for unknown. So here it is. So OBHU, it is the self-disclosure of 4 quadrants, and in this particular quadrants, it's given in the year 1955 by Joseph and Harry. It is about knowing oneself, the main purpose of mass communication, the main purpose of journalism. What? It's a psychological aspect, like. So open pen means something which is open, something which is open to all, open to the sender as well as open to the receiver. Blind pen means I know what is my loopholes. Alright, it's blind to me. Hidden pen means I don't know my what is hidden, what aspect is hidden. So this question, this particular MCQ is directly asked from Obihu. Obihu, as I have discussed right now. Now what we will be talking about, we will be talking about the Johari windows. So you can see the question over here. The Johari window is a cognitive psychological tool, isn't it? Johari window is a psychological tool, isn't it? Yes or no? So what cognitive psychological tool created by Joseph Lutt and Harry Ingham identify the four quadrants: open, blind, hidden, unknown? Now arrange the following forms of lowest to highest order needs according to Marshall's McLuhan's hierarchy theory of need. You know the Marshall's McLuhan's hierarchy theory of need, the psychological, the safety, love, the belonging needs, the self-actualization needs. So this is Johari Maslow's hierarchy theory of need is very important from NTA UGC NET as well as from WB SET's perspective. Now we can see a repeated question in 23 and 24. This has been repeated, that Maslow's hierarchy need. So this particular question is very important. As you can see the options given here: a theory of development, a theory of economics, a theory of human motivation, a theory of politics. So the right answer will be the theory of human motivation. Now we have a questions from semiotics. The last class we have discussed about semiotics in the last few lectures. So it's a assertion and reasoning question which is clearly stated that verbal language, the assertion they are stating is the verbal language and photography are fine examples of representational code. If you can remember the codes, there are different codes. So what is representational code? And both the performance referential function, so it is a functionalism, right? So the assertion is right and the reasoning is also true. Both the statements are true over here. Now we have Newton's AVX model. So it is said that it's a balanced theory. That means it's a state where we are searching, where the media users are searching, the media researchers are searching for what? Searching for equilibrium, because equilibrium is the main thing, right? The moment we are talking about, the moment we are creating a conversation, the moment we are talking, the suppose sender A is initiating a conversation with the receiver B. Now there always remains a X factor, right? That is the context, in what context that particular message has been disseminated. That means it's Newton's ABX model where we are talking about the balance theory. Now moving on to the next part where we will be having a question from Scramps and Osgood's model, that is circular model. So the assertion is stating that according to linear model of communication. So remember linear model. In linear model we can understand that it is linear. That means unidirectional. That means there is no feedback. There is no room for feedback. So according to linear model of communication and advertisers is an example of sources. It's the assertion. Now they are stating the reason. We have to find out whether the assertion and reason is true and whether the explanation is given true or false. So in a circular model there is only an encoder, not a source. Is true. So we can say that both A and R are true. Now we have the next part which is given a match the following question. It was from the 20th set examination. The first list is stating that entropy, empathy, laggards, public sphere, and the second list is stating that J. Habermas, E.M. Roger. So we know E.M. Roger, we know Daniel Lerner, we know Shannon and Weaver. So if we consider entropy, then it goes to Shannon and Weaver's model of communication, the mathematicals model of communication. We have discussed about the different levels, the level A noise, the level B noise, the level C noise, different semantic noise, right? So where in this particular question we can connect entropy with Shannon and Weaver, we can connect empathy with whom? You can remember empathy with Daniel Lerner. Yes, absolutely. Now in the third part we have laggards. Laggards means those who are adopting something. This is from diffusion of innovation, DOI, and DOI is directly from E.M. Rogers. So laggards will go, C will go with number 2. So if you can see in this particular option, C is number 2. Two options are given. Option A we can find C in 2 and option B we can find C in 2. So we will be eliminating option number C and D. Now we will be understanding. Now we have to find out whether A goes with 4 or whether A goes with 3. Now entropy obviously goes with Shannon and Weaver. That's why the right answer will be option A. Quickly moving on to the next question, that is In the context of mass media effects, what is priming? If you can remember the agenda setting, the priming, the framing, what we have, when people are exposed to some events through mass media, they are priming it, they are framing it, right? Exported to some events through the mass media through thoughts leads to the generation of semantic related ideas and action tendencies and some time. So this will be the context of mass media effects. So thank you for connecting at Is No Media, where we discuss media related topics at Is. Tomorrow we will be continuing with this series where we are discussing about the previous year questions of models and theories.
Sir, complete.